Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastav. Today we are going to study the topic fertilizer use efficiency. What is fertilizer use efficiency? Fertilizer use efficiency refers the output of any crop per unit area of the nutrient applied in a specific soil and climatic conditions. Means fertilizer use efficiency refers the output in terms of dry matter which is produced by the application of fertilizers and its nutrients which are absorbed by the plants. When a fertilizer is applied, all of its nutrients are not absorbed by the crop. Only a fraction of nutrients are utilized. The fertilizer use efficiency represents the absorption capacity of the nutrients which is used by the plants for its conversion to the dry matter produced. There are three conditions after fertilizer application. Nutrients applied to the soil are taken up by the crops. Second case, the nutrients are retained in the soil as nutrient stocks for future use. And third case, the nutrients are lost from the soil through leaching or volatilization. What is leaching and volatilization? Leaching refers the loss of water-soluble plant nutrients from the soil due to rain and irrigation. Soil structure, crop planting, type and application rates of fertilizers and other factors are taken into account to avoid excessive nutrient losses through leaching. Volatilization refers the loss of fertilizer nutrients in the form of gases under certain soil conditions. Fertilizer use efficiency is a critically important concept in the evaluation of crop production systems, and it is impacted by fertilizer management as well as soil and plant water management system. The objective of fertilizer use is to increase the overall performance of cropping systems by providing economically optimum nourishment to the crop while minimizing nutrient losses from the fields. So in case of fertilizer use efficiency, we have to use the proper fertilizers, optimum methods of application and dosage in the required quantity which is required for the plants is a optimum level. Fertilizer use efficiency depend on the nutrient supply capacity of soils which is determined by the soil test value, and accordingly fertilizer recommendations are done. Fertilizer use efficiency aims to get maximum economic yield with minimum input supply to gain the cost benefit ratio. As fertilizer is the costly input out of all inputs management, so it must be efficiently used and utilized. To get maximum benefits and higher fertilizer use efficiency, two aspects are to be considered. First one, correct choice of fertilizers from a wide selection of fertilizers having different chemical and physical characteristics. And second, the fertilizer recommendations should be based on nutrient supplying power of soil by a specific soil and plant climatic factors, which should be soil testing basis. Here to study the various factors which are affecting fertilizer use efficiency. It can be described as: first one, fertilizer characteristics; second, physical properties of soil; third, chemical properties of soil; fourth, losses due to leaching; fifth, losses in gaseous forms; sixth, immobilization by chemical precipitation; and seventh, chemical reactions between various components in fertilizers combining. First factor affecting fertilizer use efficiency is fertilizer characteristics. The characteristics like mobility of the fertilizer nutrients, type of fertilizer, and time and modes of application decides the efficiency of a fertilizer. The nitrogenous fertilizers are highly mobile and subjected both downwards and sideward mobility. Among all fertilizers nutrients, nitrogen is having the highest mobility. Phosphorus is highly immobile. Potassium is also mobile, but compared to nitrogen, its mobility is less. To get maximum efficiency from nitrogen and potassic fertilizers, it should be applied in frequent split dosage, and phosphorus should be applied as basal dressing or near the root zone. Now, types of fertilizers related to fertilizer use efficiency. Ammonium and urea fertilizers efficiency is higher compared to nitrate fertilizers in case of paddy cultivation. Water soluble phosphorus fertilizers efficiency is high in neutral to alkaline soils for short duration crops, and there is interaction among crops and fertilizers which impacts the fertilizer efficiency. Like in case of paddy, when ammonium sulfate fertilizer is applied, its performance is better as nitrogen carrier. In case of tobacco crop, it performs better when potassium sulfate is applied as potassium carrier. Now to go through 4R concept for maximum fertilizer use efficiency. 4R represents right type of fertilizers, right time of fertilizer application, right dose of fertilizers, and right method of application. As a right type of fertilizer is concerned, it should be having favorable chemical and physical properties according to the crop requirement, and fertilizer should be selected as per the crop grown. Second is right time of fertilizer application, which should synchronize with the rapid crop uptake period and minimum time for soil fertilizer injections. After application of fertilizer, it should be readily available to the plants, and crop should be easy to take it from the soil and convert it to the dry matter production. Third is right dose of fertilizer, which should be based on the nutrient supplying power of the soil and crop need. And the fertilizer dose should be decided based on soil test values. Fourth is right method of application, which should be depend on soil and climatic characteristics. Plant characteristics also impact the fertilizer use efficiency, about which we will discuss here. Different crops are having different nature of nutrients absorption from the soils. There is appreciable variations within varieties of same plants between dicots and monocots. Since the roots are the principal organs by which the plants absorbs the nutrients from the soil, so the rooting patterns and habit plays important role for the nutrient absorption or nutrient removal from soil. Plants which are having developed vigorous deep root system during their early stages of crop growth requires a large quantity of fertilizers as basal dressing. The fertilizer needs of deep rooted crops are generally lower than shallow rooted crops. So the nature of crop grown also decides the dosage of fertilizers, right methods of application, and its absorption from the soil to get the maximum fertilizer use efficiency. Second factors which affects fertilizer use efficiency is physical properties of soil. First factor is soil compaction. If soil is compact, it is hard pan, then it will reduce the fertilizer efficiency. So to get the maximum output of fertilizer use efficiency, the soil should be friable. There should be aeration by which the roots can go deeper and absorb the nutrients from soil. Soil temperature also affects the fertilizer use efficiency by changing solubility of fertilizers, concentration of solubilized fertilizer cation exchange, and also the ability of the plants to absorb and use nutrients. To an extent, the soil temperature is modified by common management practices by tillage, mulching, and irrigation. Now to go through the influence of soil temperature on various nutrients. First one is influence of soil temperature on nitrogen. Variation in temperature causes differential responses to crop uptake from ammonical and nitrate fertilizers. Below 13 degrees centigrade, the uptake of nitrogen from ammonical and nitrate fertilizers are reduced, which is almost nil below 13 degrees centigrade. The temperature range from 19 to 24 degrees centigrade is optimum and it is favorable, where the maximum uptake of nitrogen by plants resulted from nitrate and ammonium fertilizers. The influence of temperature on the efficiency of fertilizer is also dependent on soil moisture. Second, influence of soil moisture on phosphorus. The efficiency of phosphatic fertilizers increases significantly with increase in temperature. From 10 to 35 degrees centigrade, temperature is optimum, which is evidenced by increased phosphorus uptake by many plants with increase in temperature. So, in case of phosphorus, the temperature range 10 to 35 centigrade is best suited. Third is influence of soil temperature on potassium. The effect of soil temperature on the uptake of potassium ions both from soil potassium and fertilizer potassium is controversial. In soil temperature from 24 to 28 degrees centigrade, uptake of potassium ion by plants increases in low dosage supply. Soil moisture is one of the important factors as a physical properties of soil which impacts fertilizer use efficiency. One of the most singled out problem in agriculture is the lack and excess of moisture. Some regions are facing drought problems where there is no irrigation facilities, and some areas is having the excess moisture flooding conditions. Efficient water management is complementary to efficient fertilizer management. Maximum efficiency of fertilizers can be obtained only in the presence of adequate soil moisture and vice versa. Excessive soil moisture leads to leaching loss of added fertilizer, whereas lack of moisture results in poor availability of the added fertilizers and high osmotic pressure of soil solution due to concentration of fertilizer soils. So, to get the maximum output of fertilizer use efficiency, optimum moisture is needed. Now, third factor is chemical properties of soil impacting fertilizer use efficiency. Plant nutrient availability depends on prevailing pH of soil. Because of soil pH reactions, there is impact on nutrient supply from soil to the plants. In strongly acidic and alkali soils, the efficiency of phosphatic fertilizers is low. In such situation, efficiency of fertilizers can be increased by correcting the soil conditions using suitable amendments. Physiologically alkaline fertilizers like calcium cyanamide, basic slag should receive priority on acid soils, and physiologically acid fertilizers like ammonium sulfate etc. should be used on alkaline soils. Fourth factor impacting fertilizer use efficiency is losses due to leaching. Nitrate fertilizers are more prone to leaching, where there is easily and highly loss occurred because of leaching. The extent of leaching depends on soil conditions. In case of sandy soils, the leaching loss will be higher compared to clay soils, and the loss is also more in bare soils compared to cropped soil. The losses can be reduced to an extent by suitable methods and timing of application. Losses in leaching loss also occurs when the nutrients are applied in the form of ammonical calcium cyanamide and urea fertilizers. In extreme acid soils or sandy acidic soils, ammonium fertilizers are lost because ammonium ions cannot easily replace the ammonium ions in exchange sites. So, depending upon the soil pH conditions, we have to select the fertilizer application. When urea mixed with neem seed crush and applied to the paddy soils, the efficiency of urea is increased. So to avoid the leaching loss, we have to select the appropriate fertilizers and correct method of application depending upon the soil conditions. Leaching losses also depends on climatic factors. During summer, the leaching losses from ammonical, calcium cyanamide and urea are more because they are rapidly oxidized by nitrifying organisms. The activity of nitrifying organisms is reduced and thereby the leaching loss is minimized. There are also some chemical compounds. When these are applied with nitrogen fertilizers, there will be inhibition of nitrifying organisms and it will reduce the leaching losses. Like some compounds which are used for the same is N-Serb, AM which is aminochloromethylpyridine and thiourea. So after adding these compounds, the efficiency of the nitrogen fertilizer will be increased and leaching loss can be minimized. Now loss of potassic fertilizer. Applied potassic fertilizers are easily lost in drainage water in sandy soils and acid soils. In clay soils, there will be less losses compared to sandy and acid soils. The loss can be minimized by adjusting the time of application to synchronize with maximum plant uptake period and also applying the fertilizer in 2 or more split dosage. There are some slow release potassic fertilizers which are not subjected to leaching losses like potash frites, potassium metaphosphate and fused potassium phosphate. So by applying of these fertilizers chemicals, we can minimize the losses and increase the efficiency. Practically, there is no leaching loss occurs from phosphatic fertilizers. Fifth factor which is affecting fertilizer use efficiency is losses in gaseous forms. Volatilization refers the losses in gaseous forms of nutrients. The nitrogen compounds present in the fertilizer are lost as gases under certain soil conditions. And there are various kinds of gaseous losses of nitrogen nutrients. Like first one, losses as ammonia under high pH conditions in alkaline soils. Second is losses as nitrogen, nitrous oxide and nitromonoxide due to denitrification. Third is losses as nitrogen, nitrous oxide and nitrogen monoxide under nitrification of ammonium fertilizers. The volatilization losses can be determined by soil pH, fresh organic matter of soil, soil moisture content, soil temperature and types of microorganisms present in soil. Now control of volatilization losses. First one, proper placement of urea. When we are placing urea on soil surface because of atmospheric temperature, there will be more losses, so it should be placed below soil surface. As far as possible, ammonium fertilizer should be avoided. If there is no alternative to ammonium fertilizers, the fertilizer should be placed at least 4 to 6 cm below the surface. Urea should be used instead of ammonium and nitrate fertilizers. Sixth factor which is affecting fertilizer use efficiency is immobilization of fertilizer nutrients. Nutrients elements may be immobilized or fixed or converted into unavailable forms by one or more of the three means. First one, chemical immobilization. Second is physiochemical immobilization. And third, microbiological immobilization. So, immobilization is the process by which the available form of nutrients converts to the unavailable forms. So, we have to take care how to avoid the immobilization. Immobilization in acid soils. The efficiency of water soluble phosphorus is very low. The water-soluble phosphorus is immediately converted into insoluble phosphorus compounds. In acid soils, insoluble phosphatic fertilizers like rock phosphates should be utilized. And further, a thorough mixing of the phosphorus with soil increases the efficiency of the fertilizers. So in acid soils, these measures should be adopted. In case of calcareous soils, applied phosphatic fertilizers invariably converted into tricalcium phosphate, which is a compound from which phosphorus is not easily available. Under such calcareous conditions, water-soluble phosphorus are relatively more efficient than water-insoluble phosphorus like rock phosphate. So, depending upon the soil conditions, we have to select the phosphatic fertilizers. Now, microbial fixation of fertilizer nitrogen. It may be a serious problem when undecomposed organic materials of high carbon nitrogen ratio is present in the soil. It will lead to the reduction in microbial fixation. This type of immobilization is of short duration period. It can be overcome by application of larger quantities of water soluble nitrogen fertilizers or by allowing enough time for complete decomposition of undecomposed organic matter. Seventh factor is interactions between different fertilizers. There are sometimes different fertilizers are mixed and applied as per the crop requirement need. In these cases, there is combining compatibility of fertilizers, because of which someone is inhibiting the availability of other nutrients or some are promoting the availability of different nutrients. It is often a common practice to mix fertilizers containing different nutrient carriers just prior to application. The efficiency of fertilizers will be lowered if mixed with the fertilizers or amendment noted against them. So the below examples are there, like if ammonium sulfate and basic slags are mixed, the availability will be reduced, efficiency will go down. Like same ammonium sulfate and calcium carbonate, superphosphate and basic slag, ammonium phosphate with basic slag, ammonium phosphate with calcium carbonate and superphosphate with calcium carbonate should not be applied. Urea can be mixed with all fertilizers and other fertilizers can be mixed just before use. Now to study agronomic interventions for enhancing fertilizer use efficiency. First one is using best fertilizer source. Second, using adequate rate and diagnostic techniques for fertilizer application. Third, usage of balanced fertilization. Fourth, integrated nutrient management practices. And fifth, utilization of residual nutrients. We will study in details about each practices. First one is using best fertilizer source. To increase the fertilizer use efficiency, the selection of fertilizer plays important role. Identification of best source of fertilizer is prerequisite for better crop production, and the source of fertilizer depends on crop and variety, climatic and soil conditions, and availability of fertilizers. In case of nitrogen, ammonical and nitrate fertilizers are used, which are the best source. In case of phosphorus, water soluble or citrate soluble source should be used. In case of potassium, muriate of potash is the best source. In case of sulfur, sulfate or elemental sulfur should be used. As a multi-nutrient fertilizers, MAP, DAP, SSP, single sugar phosphate and nitrophosphates should be used. As a multi-nutrient mixture, there are several combinations of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassic fertilizers are available which can be used. And in fortified fertilizers, there are neem-coated urea, zincated urea, boronated single super phosphates and there are other nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and sulfur mixing fertilizers. Selection of fertilizer should be done according to the soil reaction, soil pH. Acidic fertilizers for alkaline soil should be selected and basic fertilizer should be selected for acidic soil reactions. Second method to improve fertilizer use efficiency is using adequate rate and diagnostic techniques. The fertilizer recommendations must be in adequate quantity and optimum dosage should be applied so as to meet the demand of crop at any point of growth. The fertilizer supply is made by diagnosing its requirement by different methods like state recommended generalized fertilizer dosage or blanket recommendations, soil test based fertilizer recommendations, soil test crop response based recommendations, plant analysis for diagnosing nutrient deficiencies, and chlorophyll meter and leaf color charts should be used. So these are the various methods because of which we can apply the fertilizers in desired quantity to get the optimum output. Third method of improving fertilizer use efficiency is balanced fertilization. Balanced fertilization includes adequate supply of all essential nutrients, proper method of application, right time of application, and nutrient interrelationship. The first one is adequate supply of all nutrients. Due to more concentration and application on primary nutrients NPK, soil develops deficiency for secondary and micronutrients. Hence, ignored elements must be added with NPK, maybe in minor quantity, to get higher yields in crops. Experimental results shown that about 20 to 25 kg of micronutrient application or 2 foliar sprays increases the yield of crops up to 20%. Second method is proper method of fertilizer application. Surface application through broadcasting should not be adopted, but the fertilizer should be placed about 3 to 4 cm by side or below the seed. This discourages wheat growth also. Nitrogen and potassium can be applied as broadcasting and band placement. Water soluble phosphorus fertilizers are preferred to apply as band placement in the neutral and alkaline soils. Citrate soluble phosphatic fertilizer are applied as broadcast method in acidic soils. Sulfate form of sulfate fertilizer are applied as broadcasting or band placement, whereas elemental sulfur and pyrites are applied as broadcasting method. Micronutrients are applied in minor quantity as foliar sprays, and water soluble fertilizers are applied in fertigation. Third method is right time application of fertilizers. It should be applied according to physiology of crop. In upland crops, there may be 2 splits dosage, and in flooded rice, there may be 3 splits of fertilizer dosage. Fourth method is nutrient interrelationship. Antagonistic nature of fertilizers is to be considered while applying into the soil. Some of the fertilizer application in excess causes loss of yield and quality of crops. When we are applying more than 2 nutrients, they are having the combining effect. One nutrient can promote the absorption of other nutrients, while it may suppress also. Fourth method of improving fertilizer use efficiency is integrated nutrient management. Organic manures, crop residues, green manures, biofertilizers, biological control of pests are to be blended in the right manner along with inorganic fertilizers to meet the crop demand. All the possible and available organic sources are to be utilized efficiently to reduce the usage of inorganic fertilizers. And fifth method is utilization of residual nutrients. Some of the strategies to utilize the crop residues in efficient manner are knowledge on climatic conditions and carry-over effects of residues, blending rightly on cereal legume rotations, and mixing shallow deep rooted crop rotations. Practical approaches to increase efficiency of fertilizers. First one is high yielding varieties. High yielding varieties of crops give higher yields than local varieties without fertilization, as well as a higher unit response to fertilizers even at the lower rate of application. Therefore, wherever possible, high yielding varieties should be grown. Second, optimum plant spacing and maintenance of optimum plant population. These are essential to get maximum benefit from the applied fertilizers. Third, ensure effective organic matter recycling. In order to maintain fertility and productivity, response for a nutrient is generally higher in soils supplied with adequate amount of organic matter. Fourth, organic manures having high carbon and nitrogen ratio. This ensures that adequate amount of nitrogenous fertilizers are applied to soils to compensate biological locking up of nitrogen in microorganisms. Fifth, legume crops in rotation or as a intercrop. Legumes beside fixing atmospheric nitrogen transform non-available native phosphorus and precipitated or fixed fertilizer phosphorus into available forms. Sixth is balanced irrigation or no excessive irrigation. Excess irrigation should be avoided as it results in the loss of nitrogen and K fertilizers. Further, there is also gaseous loss of nitrogen under waterlogged condition. There should not be excess water in the soil, particularly at the time of fertilizer application. Fertilizer application should be made after draining the excess water. Seventh, crop response to phosphatic fertilizers. The response of phosphatic fertilizer is generally more in dry seasons. Eighth is balanced fertilization should be practiced based on the soil test values. Efficiency for a straight fertilizer containing nutrients depends on the sufficiency of other nutrients in the soil. Ninth is time of application. The phosphates in general are more efficient when the entire dose applied as basal dressing, potash entire quantity as basal dressing, or part as basal and rest in split dosage depending on the soil texture, and the nitrogen in 2 to 3 or 4 split dosage are recommendable. 10th is placement of water-soluble phosphatic fertilizers. Water-soluble phosphatic fertilizer should be placed 4 to 6 cm below the soil and 4 to 6 cm away from the seeds to ensure maximum availability to plants. Insoluble fertilizer should be thoroughly mixed in soil. 11th is curing of urea. Sometimes it is better to cure the urea by mixing the urea with 5 to 10 parts of soil thoroughly and keeping the mixture for overnight. This enhances the conversion rate of urea into ammonia carbonate. 12th, increasing efficiency of the nitrogen fertilizers. It can be increased by mixing the fertilizer with crushed neem seed in the ratio of 5 to 1. 13th, foliar application. Foliar application of fertilizer should be resorted to under certain soil conditions and climatic conditions. 14th, increasing zinc efficiency. Zinc efficiency is becoming more and more widespread day by day. In such cases, application of zinc sulfate at the rate of 10 to 25 kg of zinc sulfate as basal dressing not only corrects the zinc deficiency but also enhances generally the efficiency of the other applied fertilizers. 15th, soil reclamations. Adverse soil conditions should be corrected by using appropriate amendments to get maximum benefit from fertilizers. 16th is absence of weeds, pests and diseases. This will ensure the efficiency of fertilizers. So So this presentation was all about fertilizer use efficiency. Hope this will be useful to all of you. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastava. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it, and provide your kind and valuable feedbacks. Thank you.